Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, once again it is showtime. Sorry. Well, not really sorry, but you know. Hi guys, I'm back. Again, more of the same. Yes. That's where we'll play. Made more progress earlier today, mostly just gathering a whole metric butt ton of materials. But there are more materials I need. I also did some hunting in the first map. I needed to kill 15 mobs with the scattergun and kill 15 mobs with the disruptor. Took care of that. Got some sorely needed materials. Made my heavy Kitaba armor. I think it's Kitab, maybe not. Kirab? Kirab, maybe. Kirab. There we go. That's a still suit, but I also made the Kirab heavy armor. I started some stuff cooking. We got 63 ingots of iron. Anything else that I started up cooking? I don't think so. Yeah, maybe over here. Yep, 150 silicone blocks. We are close to water capacity. 24,000 out of 31,000 mils. Right, so this is currently empty. How are our leader johns looking? They are also empty. Let's see if it happens to be time where we can harvest. Looks like it's not great. We can harvest some. Yeah, we missed the prime time, seems like. But we can still get some small amounts of water. Definitely, this is one of the better ways of just, in a minute or two, you can get a couple liters of water. Now, this is not at the prime time. The prime time would be the sort of... There are areas on the wheel in the upper right, you can see, that are different colors. And when it's blue, that's optimal, then sort of whitish. I'm going to assume that they have fixed it and Shai Hulud is back on Arrakis where he belongs. Earlier there was no Shai Hulud around. Got no worm sign. I ran out to that patch of flower sand and grabbed enough to make those 150 blocks. So even though it's not optimal harvesting time, I've picked up 600 milliliters. Put away the things I grabbed. I think here. No. Here? No. Here? Right, that's the iron ingots. Yeah, the silicone blocks are in there. Don't want to deposit all of our Solari. Now, do we? Really? I don't think the particle capacitor belongs in there. Split. I want to always be carrying some credits with me, some Solaris. Honestly, I don't have particle caps anywhere. They belong in there. Frankly, so do the silicone blocks. There we are. Good evening to whomever has joined me. Note, I have my own Little pet, come on, show up. There he is, Maudib. Alright, I'm mostly full on water. I've got like half a liter, John, so that should be fine. We need to go running around out to some distant locations. See, that's the rack of the Actaeon. Complex machinery in that. Where I really need to go is like all the way out here. I need carbon and erythrium, I think it is. Which makes the cobalt. I need the carbon to make the steel. We'll see if they've got it fixed so Shai Halud is back. But earlier, no one was getting worm sign. No one was getting eaten. What can I say, guys? It's fun, Con. Where are the other trade outposts? That's Helios Gate. That it? No. Back of the Limos. That is the western shield wall. Crossroads trade post should get me where I need to go.
Can I fly you somewhere today?
I want you to fly me somewhere today.
Music to my ears. The basin is a pretty big place. Zoe and I go back a long way.
There's your
Ever seen a
700
doctor get
Solaris.
snatched by a worm? That's why we're gonna fly high.
That must be the spice harvester. I've not seen one of those yet. I have seen the buggies. Buggies are supposedly very, very good for harvesting large amounts of ore, especially in the Haga Rift. Alright, what I am looking for the most part, nodes of carbon and erythrosite. Make sure we're in the rightish area by finding one or more, and we know we're deep enough into the Haga Basin to find the goodies we're looking for. Well, that implies that there's a worm about 6,000 meters away in that direction. That looks like copper. Not interested in copper. That is, I think, a gap in the shield wall. fortification type deal. Wrong button. Right button. That looks like more copper. I'm not interested in copper. You can see the water harvesting in the upper right is heading towards blue areas, which means that will be more successful in harvesting the water. We have any indicator as to what this is? No. Oop. I'm the best driver ever. Assuming this is an unfriendly location. I'd rather not try my luck. So instead, we'll go around. Yes, I know it's cowardly, but I'm a great big coward. What can I say? You have correctly ascertained what I indeed am. That should be flat enough that I can get a rest on that. Come on. And we are getting our first gold selling spams. This mechanic is almost good. There we are. I'm out of stamina. That should be flat enough that I'm resting there, but it isn't. Well, I am regenerating my stamina there. That's fine. Even if I've got a bad case of the shakes. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Is this Harco Village? I honest to God don't know. It might be Harco Village. Or at any rate, something Harconian. I'm on top of the wall. I don't know what the electrical visiting thing is. Missa Terrell. Sand trout leathers, still suit tubing. Yeah, that's a higher level place, I'm thinking. Because those seem like higher level crafting mats. Much higher. Sand trout leather, as an example. I'm just poking around. I have no idea what I'm doing. What I'm doing, what it is. Mr. Terrell. Yeah, Intel, diamondine, dust, carbide scraps, sand trout leather, and still suit tubing. Sounds like a great place to pick up stuff and die. So, since I'm preferring to not die today, if at all possible, I won't be going that way. I don't need granite. And if I want copper, I'll just go back to the first map area, where I did a lot of hunting earlier. Hey, Vorp. How goes? Can we still do any harvesting? No. The sun's up. We cannot harvest dew except in extremis. We're incredibly parched. We can slightly unparch ourselves. I have not been eaten by the worm. I think I got close, but only once, so not that close. Unacceptable. The worm agrees with you. I think I'm in a not great area for myself. I have no idea what the electrical signalness of that is. Let me drop my bad motor scooter. I'll probably get murdered because I just recently made my improved motor scooter. They call them a sand bike, but I'm sorry, this is a sand trike. Can I get to the top before I overheat? Maybe. Find out. Hide the bike. It's got a grappling hook. You know you want to play. Oh, that's not good. Oh. That's much better. Let's see. Totally had a bad time in the beta when he got eaten. He hadn't reset his respawn point to his second house. And after you finish your second house, you destroy your first one. And so he got sent back to the first house. There was nothing there, and he had to walk all the way back. He did not seem to enjoy the experience. I'm in the sun. So I'm going to crouch down for a moment. You can see the sun gauge at the top. Why isn't it going down? There we go. I'll drink water from my still suit, as I've been sweating and peeing up a storm. And possibly also defecating. I am looking for some of the rarer crafting components. Not very rare, still low level, low tier. For making steel. Basically the steel tier. You have the copper steel tier. And you have the makeshift tier, the copper tier, the iron tier, the steel tier, and after that I'm not sure. But it's possible I've chosen a bad path. Oops. No. It's possible I've chosen a bad path to find the kind of crafting nodes I'm looking for right now, which is carbon, so I can make steel, and erythrocite, I think it is, so that I can make cobalt goop. What do we have? This is basalt. That's like the second tier of home construction material. That's not what I'm looking for. And the node over there is blue. That's copper. So I believe I'm going to bomb drop myself using my suspenser take a lot of damage. Not sure why I took so much damage, but I will heal. I have not found any Jawas. I will say Bantha jerky is delicious. And I really don't like having to go down to Tushy Station for some power converters. It's kind of pissing me off. Now, I have a shield, but you don't want to casually turn the shield off unless you're inside, because it pisses off Shai Hulud. See, that is copper. Well, I've got plenty of copper, and there are easier places to get copper than here. Those are fuel cells. I have plenty of fuel cells at home. We have fuel cells at home. I think that's more basalt, and I'm really not interested in basalt, guys. Yeah, not efficient. That's basalt. If it was what I was looking for, I'd be able to farm it up. So I may have gone to the wrong place. Which, anyone familiar with me would not find surprising at all. Alright, is there a guy over there? Looks like there is. So I'm going to try. Let's swap that around. We want that there. And the Karpov. There. It is a guy. If this one-shots him. Got him. Forgot to turn on the shield before I started shooting. The shield temporarily goes down when you shoot, which is a really smart implementation. Take it all, and we'll take his blood as well. What has it got in its pockets? Aluminum ore. Yeah, I'm definitely not in the right place. Aluminum ore is higher tier. I have come to the wrong place. Alert the media. So now we'll see if I can get out of here. Odds are kind of dicey. I need to avoid places with dudes because most of the time there's going to be two dudes, and two dudes would be a problem for me. So I'm going to try to work my way out, but this may take a while, and I might not be successful. Sand trout leather, still suit tubing, gun parts. So I'm going to work my way across a large amount of desert, presumably. Somewhere over there. It's going reasonably well, thank you much for asking. I hope the last bit of your weekend is going well. I have chosen the wrong place to look for stuff. The House of Feek. We have dudes. Or do we not have dudes? Crashed out watching last night. Apologies if you left me chatting away. I chat away regardless. If there are 0 people in channel, I keep chatting. Chatting is a little... It's a generous interpretation. Blabbing is probably a better interpretation. So most assuredly, do not sweat it. Talk to yourself all the time. You don't even stream. The thing is, as much as I babble here, I babble very nearly the same amount when I'm not streaming. I wonder what that node is. Is that more copper? Why am I seeing copper here in this high-level area? I understand why I'm seeing basalt. But copper? In this area? No, that's one of the things that made streaming relatively easy for me compared to a lot of people. First of all, I talk to myself all the time. Second of all, I did a lot of competitive public speaking in college. And so talking about nothing at all is something I actually have years of practice at. It's all basalt. I can't even cut basalt. My cutter ray won't cut basalt. On the agenda now, I am trying to find carbon and erythrosite, which becomes something with cobalt. I need those for crafting in the next tier of items, basically the steel tier, as I've gotten most of the stuff in iron that I need. And there's some stuff I definitely want in the steel tier. Jimmy the Rabbit has rated me with an 8. Still, thank you, Vorp. My notifications work great for everything except raids. My apologies. Thank you, Jimmy the Rabbit, very much for the raid. Hi, guys. I'm Lens. I am playing Dune Awakening and enjoying it a lot. I can safely advise you to probably not buy it right now, because wait until Tuesday. It's going to be $20 cheaper if you want to play. Yes, you did notice. Yeah, you're one of the rare people to notice the Napoleon bust. Yeah, I one-time history major once upon a time before I changed to computer science, and I specialized in the Napoleonic era. And I bought the Napoleon bust because every supervillain needs a bust of Napoleon. Can't be a supervillain without the appropriate bust, so I felt it was kind of my obligation. So here is how you can keep yourself from dying. If you note on the left-hand side, there are a couple of little vertical blue bars, a thin one and a thick one. The thin one is the water that's in your still suit that you can drink from. The thicker one is your current hydration. You can always find these things and hydrate back up to 1/3 hydration. And at night, these have enough dew that you can use your dew scythe, right there, and reap a good amount of dew from them. Uh-oh. That's a person who will want to kill me. And right now, I have no confidence that I can kill the people who are going to be trying to kill me. So, we avoid them. And yes, that's a grappling hook, and it's awesome. Currently at the bottom middle of my screen, you can see the 2 skills. I have a bunch of skills, but you can only have maximum of 3 equipped. I haven't unlocked the middle slot yet for skills. I'm not sure what level it unlocks. Maybe 40? Maybe 50? I'm 30. I am 40, so it's not 40. These are the skill trees. You've got Trooper, Mentat, Bene Gesserit, and Swordmaster. Those are the starting ones you can choose from, and also Planetologist you can get pretty early on. And you can mix and match however you like. The class you choose initially is just that. It's just the one you start with. All right, the sun is setting. You'll note in the upper right, there is a little sort of half a dial. I believe that shows daylight is leaving and darkness is coming in, and later on it will change color to show you optimal harvesting time for dew. I'm in a higher tier area than me. I'm going to do a little hydration just to get myself back up, and then I'm going to bust out the scythe. And it's poor dew harvest time, but this is going into my liter johns. I have a 1.5 liter john and a 1 liter john. So right now I'm just saving up some water for later. I'm not getting much right now, but since I'm in transit, taking a minute to get extra water is a good idea. Now I'm in a higher level area. I'm in like a tier 4 area, and I'm maybe high tier 2, mid tier 2. Also, you don't want to run around with weapons or any equipment in hand because you slow down. Yep, any questions, feel free to ask. See, that right there is a copper node, but copper is basically a tier 1 node. And I have lots, and it's easier to get around here. I was looking specifically for carbon, so I can turn my iron into steel, and erythrocite, which is used to make, some kind of cobalt stuff of an indeterminate nature. I think I actually will try to get through there. Yeah, there's a lot to the game. It's not straightforward. And I'm assuming those are more bad people there. How about... Give me a sec here to get my stamina back for climbing. I feel parched. I'm going to drink from the catch pockets in my still suit, which is the thin vertical blue line on the left. It went down and my hydration level went up. I'm going to fill it up. Is there an aim to the game? It has a very deep end game for PvP in particular. I'm not inherently much of a PvP player, where you go into the deep desert, and unlike most PvP, it is primarily going to be vehicular, not person on person. So, this is the Haga Basin, which is sort of the leveling area. It's pure PvE with tiny little exceptions. There are places where there'll be ship crashes that are PvP, because they have rare resources. Most of the rest of this is PvE. Then there's the deep desert area, which is absolutely fucking enormous. I mean, it is huge. And out there will be the most valuable resources and stuff, and that's where you get most of the spice and stuff like that. Re-ingest the sweat. I hope it was the sweat, because they also talk about how you want to be careful using your catheters, or you'll take a nice deep drink of your own feces. So yeah, let's hope it was the sweat. Or breath, either way. I have a suspensor belt so I can plummet without dying. Let's bust back out this. It's a poor dew harvest time, so again, I'm not getting a lot of water, but this is all going in my leader johns for later. Also, you get water. One of the other primary ways of getting water initially is by killing people, draining their blood, and then putting their blood into a filtration unit. Well, it is clear in the movies and the book, basically, that the still suit, the phrase they use is urine and feces are processed in the thigh pads. So that doesn't happen unless you've got a tube hooked up. Yeah, not wanting to think about it seems like a completely rational approach. So, again, I'm not catching a lot, but my leader johns were empty. My first leader john is almost full, even with the relatively limited amount of dew I'm harvesting. So you can actually harvest a lot of dew. All right, now I'm into the eastern shield wall, so hopefully the nodes will be a little friendlier here. We've got some more harvestable area over here. And again, I'm going to hit these as I'm going. Yeah, we have filled up our 1.5 liter john. That's granite, which is the first building material you get for your house. So I am going to go ahead and chug-a-lug some water from my leader john. I'm full on water. I was low before, and I have a telephone call. It's undoubtedly a scammer or a spammer, so I'm going to mute for a minute. They hung up. They don't like my message. So I do have a vehicle I could pop out, but the problem with the vehicle is I don't want it to get shot up in passing by a higher tier mob that I didn't see I was approaching. So I am going to hoof it through this. I mean, I was down here. No, I was over here. And so I've hoofed it this far, and that's where I wanted to go. So we want to go a little bit south of east. Right. Okay, now I'm looking in the direction I want to go. So yeah, we'll go this way. Looks like Outer Worlds 2 is going to be MS's first proper $80 release for Standard Edition. Looking forward to not playing that on release. Definitely. I'm sure I will actually get pleasure from not playing that on release. Have I seen those bots some banks use now to waste the time of scammers? I'm familiar with people setting up AI to basically kill the time on the scammers. Yeah. That's using AI for good, for sure. Oh, it's more basalt, isn't it? It's basalt, isn't it? Yes, it's basalt. So, having oh so cleverly named my stream, I am going the wrong way. Let's try that. Best ones were the voice actors having fun with him. Yeah. Okay, we have got more delicious. It's still a poor water harvesting time, but I just picked up 1/3 of a liter. So during a good harvesting time, as morning is getting close, you can very easily get a couple liters of water. If you're near home, you can run in, dump it into your watering cistern, and get a couple more. Got videos of one girl. She did a perfect version of Siri. Nice. Yeah, you can see in the upper right-hand corner, we are getting towards the blue time. Yeah, it's optimal dew harvest time now, and I just spilled water on the ground because I'm full. I have 2 liter johns, and they're both full. So I came here for carbon and cobalt, and neither one of them is in this area. My bad. Instead, basalt, which is higher tier, and a lot of copper, which is lower tier. So I'm a little thrown by the copper, but I hear an ornithopter. That's a player ornithopter. That's the first time I've heard an ornithopter in game. That's like tier 5, maybe? Tier 4? Tier 4, probably. Where am I now? That's the western shield wall. I was kind of hoping to head in this direction, southeast. So that way. Now, in the Haga Basin, which is where I am, that really big sort of PvE area, there are a grand total of 60 players. So that's where it's more like a pure survival game than an MMORPG, because you always think an MMORPG is going to have a lot of players. And while the game has a lot of players, each individual Haga Basin may not. Ooh, please, be something I can use my cutter ray on. Nope. That may be aluminum? So that would be, I mean, technically, yeah, it's aluminum ore. It is aluminum ore, and that's tier 2 high for me. Now I know what aluminum looks like. Technically, it should be bauxite, because bauxite is what gives you aluminum. That's more copper. Copper is the blue one. Iron is sort of... Is that more of the aluminum? Must be. Yeah, that's... Okay, that's the aluminum. Alright, there's something over there that I probably don't want to mess with, because they'd probably hurt me. Oh, there's another one. And again, because this area is at least 1, probably 2 tiers higher than me, as far as the mobs go, I really don't want to mess with them. I killed 1, but it took a number of shots. Mobs at my tier, a headshot from my sniper rifle equivalent will kill them. It took more than like 3 or 4 to kill the bad man. Those are fuel cells. I don't need fuel cells. We have plenty at home. We have fuel cells at home. Lens, we don't pick up the fuel cells. We have fuel cells at home. That's granite, which is used for, is the first tier for building houses and stuff. I can't tell. I think it's, yeah, it's more aluminum. The light's changing, so I couldn't tell for sure. Oh, there's aluminum and I can't illuminate it. Right? That's what you are. You're aluminum, right? Aren't you? You are. Damn it. Curses. I did step away from the fuel cells. I already have more than I need at home. They are used, even I have 2 generators running at home. They are used less than I expected. I expected we'd burn through them a lot faster. My home is only 6,000 meters in that direction. How do I get turned around repeatedly? This is not the direction I want to go. Okay, we're going to slide around that way. I mean, I get lost a lot in games to begin with, but usually not this bad. That right there is one of the Guild Highliner ships. Alright, we need to go this way. That's really intimidating. That is an NPC facility of some kind. Which means the mobs have chunks of guys tougher than me in their stool. Somebody is playing with their food. So one of them's a player. One or more. Alright, that thing with the flamethrower is not a player. What do I think of the new Dune movies and series? The series I had some issues with, but I watched the whole thing, so it couldn't have been too bad. The movies, I think, are masterpieces. I think Denis Villeneuve is someone I would trust with any IP that matters to me. Oh, they're shooting at me. That's distinctly unfriendly. Wow, what the shit? I'm assuming that means the player they were fighting died. Or possibly the player is shooting at me. Nope, that is not a player. Because the player can't shoot me here. They will follow a very, very long ways. The NPCs do not screw around. So I turned my shield on is probably the only reason I'm still alive. Well, I'm headed through a gap. See what I mean? Still coming. That's not good. I didn't figure they'd follow this far. I think. Nope, still there. And we're still in aluminum land. I may have finally shaken him. The original Dune movie, the ones by Lynch, they had parts that were brilliant, but the whole was not up to expectations. I'm going to drink some of my sweat, of which there was a lot just a minute ago. The sun is rising. That's granite. I'm still looking for copper and erythrosite, and that's still aluminum. Imperial testing station, so there's sort of the equivalent of a dungeon back there. No, I'm not interested in going in. Those things are tough at the best of times. Under-armored, under-geared, overmatched. So I hope you're all enjoying the scenic tour of the entirety of the goddamn planet. Let's see where we are, and I have a contract there. Let's head in that direction. I have to approach the Stone Sentinel and probably end up running away from that too. It's not because I'm a coward, because I'm afraid. Ever read John Carter? Yep, they're all about 12 feet behind me, the entire series. Weirdly like the Disney movie. It was a perfectly respectful and good movie that was killed by some of the worst marketing in the history of bad marketing. They didn't want to go with the title of the first book, A Princess of Mars, because Disney movies and princesses there's already too many of in their mind. And they didn't want to go with John Carter of Mars because they had just had a Mars movie that flopped. Mars Needs Mothers or something like that. And so they went with just John Carter, and no one was interested in something called John Carter because it had no traction. I don't think anyone would have watched Star Wars if it'd been called Luke Skywalker. All right, there's another batch of mobs there, methinks. And there's better sun cover over here. You can get sunstroke, and it hurts. You can see the sun meter in the middle of the screen. I'm going to take a sec, crouch down, and get my sunstroke down. Don't remember being in the movies at the time. Yeah, it is a shame. But Disney had no idea what to do with it. So they double bungled it. Well, we don't want Princess, and we don't want Mars. The first book is called A Princess of Mars. Yeah, we know. We don't want that. Some brainiac came up with, we'll just call it John Carter. Excuse me. I'm running. And we're still in aluminum area. And welcome to the basalt capital of Arrakis. Having run all this distance I have accidentally found myself near a quest, and it will kill me. That's my prediction. I'm sticking with it. The Eastern Shield Wall once again, everyone. Which one is it that I'm getting close to, by the way? Scout the enemy. Did I not do that one? Scout the enemy. Oh, come on. Is it here? This is the one. The UI in the game, the salt capital of Arrakis. Well, my whining makes wherever I am the salt capital of Arrakis.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
There's a sandstorm coming. I need to find cover. Hopefully, this will be good enough. 2 minutes. I am sheltered. So, I'm going to wait for the sandstorm right here. I don't see anyone over there. But because I'm sheltered, I'm just going to stay here. Unsheltered? Sheltered. I lead such a sheltered existence. You don't want to mess around with storms. First of all, obviously, they'll kill you.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
But worms and sandstorms are the only things that kill you and destroy all your gear. You lose everything you're carrying. This would make me unhappy. The sandstorm is blowing by. You can see it on the map. Right there. I'm not sure it's even going to actually hit me. I take that back. That may not be the sandstorm. It may just be an area I haven't seen yet that is showing the sort of sandstorm thing. I'm guessing the sandstorm is coming from the east, though. That's the sandstorm. I think. Maybe not.
Sector weather alert.
That, I think, is the actual... That's the actual sandstorm. The thing that's moving. Not the one that sort of looks like it's moving. Alright, here it comes. I'm sheltered. When is the game set? The basic tenet is Paul has seen all of these futures, and this is built on one of those futures. The ones that the path didn't follow. In this future, what happened is Paul wasn't born. Jessica gave birth to a daughter as had been commanded. Then she became a truth seer and stopped the betrayal of Yui, and the Battle of Arrakeen was a draw. And so the Emperor declared an end to hostilities in the beginning of a war of assassins between Atreides and Harkonnen, who both are on planet, with the Sardaukar making sure the rules are followed. So there's Harkonnen and Atreides. Both. And we have survived. Yay us. So it's basically a what if. So the Harkonnen, something happened to Carthage, so the Harkonnen built a new sort of capital city, Harco City, and the Atreides are in Arakeen. Wrong button. Right button. Wait, where was I going? South. I keep getting turned around. Great approach for a game, affords a lot of creative latitude. Yes, and the Sardaukar, just as in the books, begin a pogrom against the... suddenly they found out they're really fucking dangerous Fremen. And so the Fremen have vanished from the north and are presumed to be in the south. It is also rumored that we are going to get them as a third faction in the not-too-distant future. I'm going to drink some of my water. I am now fully hydrated, and guess what? Once again, it's not ideal time. It's poor dew harvest time, but filling up the leader johns. Worth a few seconds when the opportunity arrives. Fill up on water, and then fill your leader johns. And we've picked up about half a liter, even though it's a terrible time for harvesting. Where are we? It's below us at 287 meters? The fuck? I don't know if there's a way through over there. So we're gonna Super Mario our way up? We're just a platformer, that's all. Dune Awakening is just a platformer. People don't realize. This may be a problem, but we'll see. That's a lot of climbing and finding nice level spots that I can take a quick rest at. That's not great. All right, I caught on. Oh, that's some kind of deep-ass hole that I'd really not rather find the bottom of. And yet... Please be a flat enough place that I can just rest. Nope. Please be flat enough that I can rest. Please. Before I run out of climbing oomph. I'm almost out. Oh, jeez Louise. Uh-huh. Good. That was better. None of those else is looking particularly delightful to me, I have to say. No? Please? If I asked really, really nicely, that wasn't what I wanted to do. This better be flat enough or I'm screwed. Arrakis. Come for the sand. Stay for the rocks. Well, that looks like that might be a place I could land. Yeah, we might be okay. Maybe okay. Whew. Not a problem. Had it the whole way. Not a fan of the shield wall. This is like the second time I've had to try and negotiate. The shield wall. No? Somewhere? I don't think I can make it over there. Nope. Make it there. Oh, high. Not high enough. Can't say I'm entirely happy with the way things are going here. I was here just a bit ago, wasn't I? You can see the sort of greenish horizontal bar there is my stamina. And there's the inevitable gold seller spam. Oh, I found a level spot where I can catch my breath again. Mountain GOAT. I appreciate that. I don't think I agree with it, but I do appreciate it. Come on, catch on to something, catch on to something, catch on to something. Thank you. Oh, actually, we're fine. Have I made it over the shield wall? Keep in mind, the Atreides, they needed the family atomics to get past the shield wall. Not me. Where the hell am I? Where was I going? I was going in that direction, 356 meters. That plan may have been deprecated. But there is something up here. I wasn't intending to get here, but I am here. I have to look. It's just my nature. It's not a smart nature. I want to be clear on that. The Atreides won the Landsraad? In-game or in real life? Real life. There is a Landsraad in-game. We've got lights. We've got some iconography from the Fremen. Oh, on your server? On our server. Got it. Those bastards. Took me a sec. Hey, Tully, how you doing? I have spent the entire day, entire evening session here doing nothing productive. I've killed one guy. I've mined nothing. I've been trying. I went to the tier 4 area, I think, instead of the tier 3 area, and I've been trying to get out of it ever since. Well, we've got something here. That's it? I went all this way for 227 Solaris and a couple of Holtzman actuators? Oh my god. That was literally it? I am unenthused at this prospect, I must say. You visited the Shipwreck Palace. No one to PvP with, but picked up some loot. Okay, well, that's... I would say that's like the best of all possible worlds. But then I'm not a big PvPer. I had to follow the lights. I expected death. Didn't get death. Didn't get much, really. I can't tell if there's anyone down there. Doesn't look like it. We'll see if there's anything I can salvage from that stuff. We'll turn on our shield just in case. I hate you, aluminum. I hate you so much. Oh, these are still tents. That's what those are. A couple of ornithopters. That's the first time I think I've seen them in game. I assume those are player, but I don't know that for sure. Where are we? We're here. Head off now. Have fun. Catch me next time. I hope so. Thank you very much for hanging out, chatting. Have a great rest of your day. Sentinel City. That's the personal marker I set, and now it's vanished. Whatever I was looking for is gone. I don't know, maybe those are NPC ornithopters? If so, I didn't know there were NPC ornithopters. Yep, we've got people who will shoot us over there. I try not to associate with people who would shoot me. No matter how good a taste that would be on their part. As you saw earlier when I got chased by a psychotic person from an NPC location for about 45 minutes. It wasn't 45 minutes, but it was a good 4 or 5 minutes. Alright, well this is an area with just sand instead of climbing everywhere, which I'm gotta say is getting a bit old. Although I was quite accomplished at it. NPCs, gotta run, took a little damage. I assume I'm still in like a tier 4 area, and since I'm barely tier 2, I don't want to mess with the NPCs because they'll almost certainly murder me. Despite the fact that I'm a wonderful person. I just think they don't see the real me, you know? Hey, fat body. Good evening. I am now drinking my own filtered urine, feces, and or sweat and breath. Can recommend as, you know, better than dying. That's another, there's NPCs there and NPCs there. I don't want to play with the people who want to almost undoubtedly kill me. I assume this is has more aluminum ore. Well, I'll pick up the bits and pieces that have fallen off. I'm still in a tier 4 area. Sounds like tap water. Probably tastes like body temperature tap water. And why I am running, again, because I want to repeat this, is I don't want to get on my trike and get myself into a place I can't get out of and lose the trike, because I just made that earlier today. Pinnacle Station. Let's head that way. At least Pinnacle Station will be able to get the hell out from there. Let's go ahead and mark Pinnacle Station as our objective. That way I can get lost countless more times. Well, I can't harvest aluminum, but I can pick up your odd chunk. By the way, I will repeat. Aluminum doesn't come that way. Aluminum comes in bauxite. That's why aluminum was so valuable, as it was so hard to get. Napoleon's dinner plates were made out of aluminum. The capstone on the Washington Monument, aluminum. And that is more basalt, which is a building material I can't. It's way up. It's down below. It's not way up there. I'm not sure I trust that. I think they may be fibbing to me. The problem is it's relatively easy to just be tootling along in your trike, and all of a sudden you're getting shot at by multiple mobs. I don't want my bike getting shot up. I just got it. So I've been running for the last hour and 19 minutes. Mostly. Hour and 14 minutes. Some grappling claw parkour. You got to admit, here in Louisville area, water company has won a lot of awards for the water supply here. Horses and water. Imagine that. Yeah, that does sound about right. My growing up years were spent in the Bay Area's East Bay, Oakland area. Well, there's somebody's bike. And the East Bay Municipal Utility District water was amazing. It was great water. Why is there a bike just sitting there? I don't know. Nothing I can do with it. It's players. And they call them bikes, but they're trikes. I mean, come on, guys. 3 treads, that's a trike. Right, that's where we're going. That's where we're heading. Jabal Ifrit al-Garb, slaver territory. Streamwatch earlier was talking about server rollback. Did that happen? They had some kind of server issue. They were trying to reboot. They did a reboot on the service, I think, to reactivate the sandworms because the sandworms weren't working. And they had... You found some unowned bikes yesterday. Huh. Not worth going back for, I suppose. And they did a reboot and stuff, and a lot of people were trying to log in before the servers had come completely up, and so there were servers that were missing, people's characters were missing, some people were reporting rollbacks. I'm not sure of the final outcome of that. It's sort of strange. There were 4 to 5 bikes, all of them about 4% left on the durability of the parts. Interesting. So, is this the guy I'm supposed to talk to here?
You have returned, Offwelder.
Who are you?
That depends on the day. Today, I'm an instructor.
Oh, that's
I
right.
can show you the way
He's
to
the Swordmaster instructor.
For a price. The proof of my claim would be swift and final.
What does that mean? It means he'd
It
kill me.
means I could have your head separated from your body before your next heartbeat.
Spoken like a true Swordmaster.
True may be pushing it, but I'm intimately familiar with the teachings of Jul Nuret and the Ginaz school.
Right, I have this quest for him. Where was the scout the enemy? I don't see it anywhere. Was that it? No. Could have sworn it was like in here somewhere. Well, that... Where is it? Well, that's my home base. That is the Helios Gate, which is Atreides, but I think can be safely entered even by someone who's Harkonnen. Said the worms had gone nuts, smashing housing. On at least one server, I know that the worms were smashing housing. They turned them off and people were exploiting somehow with the worms gone. Well, it's easy to exploit. The worms were gone, and I walked out 200 meters from my house and spent 5 minutes harvesting flower sand. Technically exploiting, I suppose. I want to see if I can actually, now that I'm out this side of the wall, see if I can actually find the appropriate tier of stuff that I'm looking for. If not, I can always book back there and catch a flight. But I'm looking for carbon and erythrocite. And have been. Hence the title of my stream. That looks like more aluminum. And it is. Let me turn that off. Well, I'm here. I'm going to assume that's probably the better place for tier 3 stuff. So I will go back up there and I will fly to a better area. I think it's been a pretty good launch too. They didn't have enough servers at launch, which surprises me because they knew how many pre-orders they had. Other than that, I think it's been pretty good. This server glitch is a bit of an issue. Other than that, but generally speaking, yeah, I would agree. It's been pretty good. But I haven't really had any problems, so maybe I shouldn't be talking. Ask the people who've had problems. They might have a different opinion. This is the bike I've been not using for the last hour. Trike. It's a trike. Yeah, it was almost 120k earlier.
Can I fly you somewhere today?
I want you to fly me somewhere.
Music to my ears. Where do you want to go?
Aga
The basin
Basin.
is a pretty big place. Could you narrow it down a little?
Anvil. Take me back to the anvil.
Ah, I never miss the chance to... Let's move.
Let's go. Right on. Yeah, I don't know how many players they were expecting, but you know, they knew how many pre-orders they had when they turned the servers on. So that part couldn't have been a surprise to them. You know, for day 2 and day 3, maybe they're surprised for that. I can't imagine they weren't prepared for the possibility of 150 or even 200,000. It'll be really interesting to see what happens with the numbers on Tuesday when they roll out, you know, the $50 version finally gets to play. By the way, for anyone interested in the game, they're bringing out entirely new servers so that the people who bought the $50 version don't have to join servers where people have been playing for 5 days. They can join brand new servers and have the exact same chance to get outworked by everybody else in the game and find out they're in a week they're in the exact same place as they would have been if they chosen one of these servers. It's possible I'm a bit unkind in my estimations. So, I spent an hour and 20 minutes doing a lot of running around and not much else. My house is right over here. There's the flower sand I was talking about. That big white poofy cloud is flower sand. I can hear Shai Hulud. He's around somewhere. He is 293 meters away now. There he is. 660 meters away in that direction. This is my house in the middle of the street. It's not actually in the middle of, well, anything. So what did I pick up for my efforts? Sand trout leathers. Still suit tubing. Pretty much it. Plant fiber. We get everything taken care of? Yes. Nope. We have aluminum ore. We want to drop that here. And I'm pretty sure we have melange spiced food socked away somewhere. Yeah. Mouse balls. Sort of. It's a long story. Let's see, I cooked up a bunch of copper beforehand. How much iron? Yeah, I cooked up all of my iron as well. I do have some blood to deposit. Not much. 2 liters. A 2-liter jug! Yeah, I just went to the store and picked that up. Alright, nothing there. As you can see, I have my own little Muad'Dib. He has a nice little desert biome of his own. Isn't it totes adorbs? I would like to apologize to humanity for using the phrase totes adorbs. See, what I really want to make is this, the Jabal Spit Dart. The Spit Dart is awesome. It's a sniper rifle. I have a used one that I looted off a mob. And it's been quite good, but it's rather heavily damaged. Check my water situation here. All right, we have 24,000 milliliters of our 31,000 capacity. I'm going to go ahead and dump a bunch of that. $26,000 to $31,000. Because we're heading into night, which means I'll be able to harvest a bunch. Breath, urine, feces, sweat water. It's what's for dinner. All right, so this is not the optimal time yet. What I am going to do is I'm going to hop on my bad motor scooter. I'm going to go ahead and grab some here. Might as well. It's not a good time for it, so I'm not going to get much water. Yeah, 65 mils. That's like a sip. That's iron. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to head west for a while. That is the anomaly. So if I head due west, I can get over to there, follow around the rocks, and maybe head over to this area and see if we can get some of the tier 3 mats. That's my plan. I hope you like my plan. I hope I don't get eaten. On my brand new tier 2 motor scooter. All right. Want to make sure we're aimed right. These red areas are potential danger areas. They can be quicksand. They can be drum sand. Quicksand will eat you. Drum sound makes noise so that Shai-Hulud comes and eats you. Shai-Hulud is back. We have worm sign. The little orange wiggly line underneath my butt is worm sign. If it gets red, Shai-Hulud is coming and he's hungry. These are player houses. Pretty fancy ones. Much fancier than mine. I need a higher tier item to increase the size of my claimed area so that I can build something a little cooler looking, you know? I don't know if we'll pass the guy who has a ziggurat. He did a really nice ziggurat, and I'm going to make a better one. Just because his ziggurat is so nice, it pissed me off. You can hear that creaking sound. That's Shai-Hulud. There's the ziggurat. That's really nice. Damn it. He did a really good job. That is more iron. I think. I assume. Did I do... No, I did not make that. Yeah, that's iron. Mine's going to be much better. It's going to have hookers and blackjack. You wanted pointers? Yeah, so do I, actually. All right, that's iron. We don't need iron. We are looking for the next tier of goodies. Let's see where I should cross. Not quite right there, but almost right there. Okay, and we'll get partway through here, and then we'll turn right. That'll be the place we'll turn right, and that should be okay. Should be. I'm heading towards the anomaly, which we don't really know what it is, other than it's radioactive, I believe. Brief Gnomes went there. I'm now in the Western Vermilius Gap, in Kirab territory. Another player house. I'm so envious that they have so much stuff. So much space for the houses. So can that person just pack up that house, move it to another area, and then unpack it? Not quite. What you can do is basically you can take a hologrammatic picture of it, right? And then you can go to another place and deposit the holographic picture. And if you've got the ingredients, you basically just go click, 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 click to rebuild the whole place, but not the things in it. So the architectural elements, you can basically take a picture, drop the picture, and then fill in the blanks. Takes a minute or two. That's iron again, I think. It is iron. I don't even remember what carbon looks like. I've seen it. I couldn't farm it at the time because I didn't have the high enough cutter ray. Well, I do now, damn it. So I want carbon and erythrosite. That's copper. Copper. Let's see. Due west will take me towards the wreck of the palace. I don't want to go to the wreck of the palace because I believe that's PvP enabled. I believe Brief Gnomes went there earlier. That actually worked well for you. Unfortunately, the tool used to copy, it is a one-time item. That is correct. Hoping a high-tech will offer an option to save multiple designs. I think you get one per tool, so you can have multiple tools, I think. That looks like more iron. God, where is the freaking copper? Not copper, carbon. Going to McDonald's, and what will we be getting at McDonald's? It's food. I have to ask. It's in my nature. Hopefully it is a better time now for harvesting. It's not a bad time for harvesting water, so I'm going to harvest some water. Yeah, 104 mils in a single swipe. Big Mac, fries, and a Coke. I used to get a real absolute Jones for a Big Mac about every year, maybe two. But I probably haven't had a Big Mac for 20 years. Every time I've ordered them, it always seems, not that they weren't as good as they used to be, but they seem like they're smaller than they used to be. You'd like a library of designs? Well, I mean, you can also sell those. You can sell your cool layouts on the auction house, on the exchange. So here I've been doing this for, what, a minute, and I've collected already 1.5 liters. I have a maximum carrying capacity of 2.5 liters, so I've almost filled up my liter drum.
Identify yourself.
Whoop! I don't want to identify myself. I want to run and get on my bike and ride. I apparently had moved a little bit too close to one of the NPC camps, and they didn't care for it. Oh, we've got orange worm sign already. And there's another... oh, shit. I hit the fucking quicksand. I wasn't looking. Come on, get me out of here. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, jeez. Holy crap. This whole area is just death on a stick. That's carbon. I almost died. this is what I came here for, was carbon. I almost died because I wasn't paying close enough attention. Let's finish getting our water. Okay, we filled up on water. We have more carbon. So that's my first time I've hit quicksand. I didn't die. I will consider that an easy lesson. More carbon. I love you. I love you, carbon. I love you, carbon. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, that is not great. That's Sardakar's ship headed right my way. Nope, not quite headed right my way. How are we doing on mass? We can get another 60. We can drop the iron ore. That's all we're here for is carbon. Erythrocite if we can find it, but mostly for carbon. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to drink from my leader, John. And grab a little bit more. This is just the smart way of doing it. If you're in a good harvesting time, and we're in an optimal harvesting time right now, drink your fill your leader drums. There is no easy space in this entire area. Slaver camp, Piter's net. If I head southwest, I should be able to avoid this whole thing is just nothing but solid freaking red. And the only open path takes me right to the Sardaukar. I'm sure they'd be happy to see me. No, I think we have to head back over there, even though it's not my first choice. All right. God damn. Nothing but bad sand everywhere. I'm going to go through the hole in the middle and try it from the other side. I got really lucky I didn't just freaking die. Also, more carbon. Let's see. If we aim ourselves a little bit to the right, so if we head towards that larger spire, we should be fine. I think. Is that right? A little bit to the right of it. This guy might take some pot shots at us. We should be okay. It's an ornithopter. I think those are all player-owned, but there were a couple in a place earlier that seemed like it had to be NPC, but I don't know. All right. We got out of the death by sand area. That looks like iron again. back in iron. So the carbon looks like big-ass crystals. And seems to be more along here. I'm going to try to head due west. See what's there. Houses. Players. We should be clear of any danger sand areas. I am low on fuel. I will refuel when we get over to the area with a whole bunch of player houses. All right, we're 100% fueled. We only have about 30% of a fuel cell, so I probably need to make myself a bigger one. So my question is, do we have any carbon over here? I'm thinking probably not. Oops, sorry. I hit your claim dongle thingy. I see granite. These people are not screwing around, are they? I can actually feel my penis shrinking right now. Yeah, that is iron. Which means that if I really want carbon, I have 210 carbon. That'll get me some steel. I think it's probably time to head for home. I don't know if there's any way through, and I'd rather not go into an NPC area without knowing how to get out. What can I say? I'm a candy ass. But hey, at least I'm an honest candy ass. Turn. Whoa, look! Look who's there! Right where I was aimed. Big Daddy himself. He's not so shy-halloed at all. Yeah, you want to eat me? You got to eat this building. Maybe I shouldn't, talk trash to the enormous sandworm. I just wanted to gargle some lens. Yeah. Oh, Shai Halud, you are such a bad, bad boy. Such a big bad boy. So Shroud was talking a lot about, he really loves the game, but people were constantly asking him about, when are you going to do something other than, grind mats? And his response is basically, that's the game, guys. That's what you do. Can I go straight across? No. Definitely no. Up that way. Yeah, that way we can go a long ways. But look at all that. That's just freaking terrible and terrifying. The thing is you want to get through the open sand areas as quickly as possible so Shai Hulud doesn't gargle you. And if there's a whole bunch of dangerous sand out there, that's really scary. Because you don't want to stop and check the map and try and pick the narrow gaps between bad sand areas. You see, it's like nothing but bad sand all the way. I want to go to about there. See if I can get to about there and get a little more information as to where there is sand and where there's bad sand and where there isn't. Whoop, we've got orange worm sign. I do not want to play games with Big Daddy. Because I'm afraid I'd lose those games. You know the saying, play stupid games, get stupid prizes. That's actually workable. There's a good-sized gap there. Unless, of course, there's another red sand spot there. So if we head there and then northeast, we should be okay. I'm going to try it. Here we go. That is flower sand right there. All right, now we're going to go northeast. Should be... Whoop, nope, not quite. Not quite splitting the gap. All right, now we are. Let's see if this gets us to an area with more carbon. Or maybe I just did a dangerous risk for no real gain. We'll find out. Stay tuned. Carbon. Whoop! Shield on. Carbon. Delicious. I think I'll be able to make enough steel to make the spit dart that I want. So that I can, not have to worry about how much longer the one I looted is going to last. Come on, guys. I want more. Can't a guy get some more carbon, please? Lens wants carbon. Those nodes were it? No, that should be carbon over there, I think. Carbon, not iron, I think. Looks like bigger crystals, so it should be carbon, not iron. What are we doing on stuff? I didn't put those away. My 78 ingots of, I'm almost full. No! Whoa. We got 3 more nodes, 4 more nodes of carbon here. No, 3 more. Let's grab these. Oh, I think I've got space for all of these nodes. Maybe not quite all, but most, and then we'll get the hell out. Try to get back home. Alive, more or less. And we'll start cooking a whole bunch of steel. I am now full. Okay, it looks like this area is just really bad. This isn't good to get through, but there are gaps in most of these places. And that's the anvil. So now we know what to do. We go to the anvil and basically head north and work our way over here, and we can get to carbon. All right. That is a player house. He's near a lot of carbon. You don't want to go that way. Not sure we want to go this way, though. That looked like that was NPC stuff. Sort of. Made it back. Actually, really pretty night here. 72, full moon and comfy. I meant to open my window earlier, as today was really nice here, too. It was, I think, capping out at like 77. Get through. Not through that way. Kitter's Shadow. Having some frame issues right now. It's not critical. It's not great. I'm going the wrong way, as is so often the freaking case with me. This game does not make it easy, however. It's going from place to place because of the nature of the terrain and the fact that you don't want to go wandering too far into the open desert, so to speak. Because Big Daddy's waiting to eat you. That's not where I wanted to go. We'll be fine. Famous last words. That's a player house. Nice one. Not as symmetric as the other guy's ziggurat, but it's a nice one. He must have an ornithopter, I think. It's got the big opening there for an ornithopter. So that may be the equivalent of a group build. Give me a sec. I'm going to chug a lug. Never miss an opportunity to refill your body and then refill your leader drums. I drank about 400 mils. I don't know what that big booming noise we hear is. My assumption is it's probably not good news. Even though it's poor dew harvesting time, I'm mostly filling up my last liter John there. Worm fart. Interesting. Hadn't considered. Could be right. He's just disappointed he didn't get to eat me. Close enough. All right. This is southeast. We really need to be going basically more south. What is up there? I hope this isn't a mistake. It's probably a mistake. Well, if it was a mistake, nobody ended up shooting at me. How big a mistake could it be? Gets one shot by a bazooka. Okay, that bad. Yep. Let's go ahead and grab some more water. And this is about the worst possible time to harvest the water, but I'm here. And there we go. We're loaded. Pardon the phrase. We are all watered up, yo. Wrong button. We want to be going that way. What is that? Oh my god. It's the Sardaukar. Welcome to the full lens. No! No. Experience. Running from one disaster potential to another. Where the hell is he? There he is, okay. Oh my god. The full lens experience. You haven't lived until you've almost died 100 times a stream. More carbon. Dudes, we do not want to mess with dudes at all. We're so close to being able to get home intact with our carbon. Not to jinx you or anything, but have you died in game? Not on this character, I don't think. On my other character, I'm playing with brief gnomes here, and perhaps some other people later. On this is the main server I've been playing on, and then in the evenings I've got another group I'm playing with, another streamer, Malcolmist, Guild Wars 2 streamer. Recommend. Mostly a Guild Wars 2 streamer. And there's a group of like a half a dozen of us. They've been doing most of the work. I've mostly been doing my own thing. But I have not sponged anything from them. Yet. That'll be coming. Trust me. Okay, we've got bad sand areas and lots of them. So I will head west to about here and then around. Oh, I take it back. I did die on this guy. Yep. Yes, I did. And almost rage quit the freaking game. I was working my way through one of the dungeon equivalents. And I had commented how this is nothing like the other Imperial testing station, in that there are no mobs in this one. And there were no mobs. Until every single mob in the place respawned at once and instantly killed me. One of my bugaboos in MMOs, something I complain about all the time in other MMOs, is respawns. WoW had that problem at launch, where the mobs would respawn and attack you before they had completely actually entered the game space. Now, they fixed it in a month or two. Whatever the hell that is, I at least saw it this time. It was an enormous explosion of some kind. A spice blow here? I didn't know we could get spice blows here. I thought those were deep desert only. I would be heading that way to see if I could get some spice. But I don't have any space. And I need to get home. See, I'm not sure there's actually spice there. Even though that was clearly a spice blow. Because I don't think there's supposed to be spice blows in Haga Base. I think that's a deep desert only thing. And this is about where it happened, right? So, that was a spice blow. First one I've actually seen. And we're heading towards the Anvil, which is the base that I'm a couple hundred meters away from. This is not the Anvil. This is an NPC base. The Anvil is a little further away. Pardon me as I get the hell out of Dodge again. So now I know what the sound is, but honest to God, I didn't think you could get spice blows. So I don't know if that was really a spice blow or it was a spice blow that actually had no spice. Thank you to this person for not actually blocking the way. There are people who have been blocking paths way through areas like this guy has because they're assholes. Almost home, guys. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it after all. And when I get there, I'm gonna start a bunch of steel cooking. And then I'm going to dump my water into my cisterns and mine some more water. Harvest, reap, whatever you want. 2 hours later, I'm home. Steel, how much can I make? Max is 114. Go, daddy, go. That's all of the carbon ore that I got. What else do we have? 2 carbon ore and some copper ingots. Is this my ingots? The extra carbon can go in here. That's all I've got. We'll dump our water off into our cisterns and our brethrens. Everything. That is all the water in my liter johns. So now, because we're just about prime harvesting time, you see all the blue glowy there, the blue fog. That's all telling you that now is a good time to harvest. It is an optimal dew harvesting time. That one little swing there was 200 mils. So when you get out to your second house, building in an area that has a lot of these plants is a good idea, and getting your hands on a dew harvester is a good idea. It'll take care of a lot of your water problems. We've already filled out 1.5 liters. We're filling our second liter john now. Got a small patch here. But that had 455 mils. Half a liter right in those few little plants. So for this part of the game, this is the actual sort of solution to your water problems. My power pack Mark II is broken. Okay, I think I need another power pack Mark II. Yeah. Power pack Mark II. I'll get back to that in a sec after we deposit our water. Almost 2.5 liters. We're also close to our max for our circuit, which is all of these, the 6 cisterns and the blood cleaner thing. All right, we're going to have to salvage that. The recycler. Excellent. We got the particle capacitor back out. I can drop my shield now. We're probably past optimal time, but I can still get a decent amount out of here, I expect. You notice it's not quite as blue and glowy as it was anymore. It's worst dew harvesting time. Yeah, so I got 2 mils. So, basically nothing else. Not even optimal or unoptimal. Worst. So. That's the repair station. All right. We've got 54 steel ingots now. We'll drop these in with our ingots. There? There? Yes, but no. One thing the game needs rather badly, not gonna fib, the ability to label your chests. But again, we're back to my single biggest complaint about the game. The user interface is a console piece of crap. Not to put too fine a point on it. And now, I will make... I know I researched it. I've got the parts for my artisan Jabal spit dart. Where is it? Where's my spit dart? Where it? Oh. It probably needs the special fabricator. There are 5 fabricators at tier 3, I think. It does require a weapons fabricator. So, can I make the weapons fabricator? Let's learn. We'll at least learn the recipe. Okay, I can now make the weapons fabricator. Well, I know the recipe. Can I actually make it is the question. Need to swap in the constructor. Where is it? Construction tool. Bloop. That's the artisan Jabal spit dart that I looted, and it's not in great shape. That is the survival fabricator. That's the weapons fabricator. I don't have enough complex machinery. I need 13. I don't think those were too expensive. So I'm going to check and see. I need 13 of them. What about for the other one? Weapons fab would be 13 of them, and the survival fab also 13. Either way, we're going to see if we can get 13. I'll make sure I get the right thing. I got the wrong thing once before. Complex machinery. They are complex machines. It is, once again, as is usually the case here, it is ass-bakingly hot on Arrakis today. It is currently only heat level 1. I guess it's early morning. Complex machinery. We need 13 of them. Complex machinery. This is the nearest transport base. You can tell I'm pretty close. I chose that for that very reason. Complex machinery 13. And how much is it? What's the damages? Complex machinery.
Still alive. Not too bad.
Complex machinery.
We got a bet going.
6,500. If he's got 13 of them. He does. Ouch. I've been working on this all night. This is what I wanted to do. I'm going to burn some of my money. Make sure we've got them. 13. I'm doing this for you guys, not for me. So that you can see that my day's work was worthwhile. It'll be interesting to see what happens when the markets start to fill up with items. Right now, there are very few things there. It'll be particularly interesting to see when people start mass mining some of the components. This is not my house. I was off by one. When they start mass mining resources, this one's mine. There are many like it, but this one is mine. We're going to move this over a little bit. And that is the weapons fabricator. And I'm going to have to enlarge my house, I think. Not enough energy. Okay, so what we do is we manage the recycler and we disable that. Because we don't use that very often, and we also don't use the small chemical refinery very often. So basically we can just juggle things. Rather than getting a third generator up, we can just juggle between a couple of things, at least for now. Weapons fabricator. Ladies and gentlemen, my intention this evening was to get carbon so I could make steel, so I could make the artisan Jabal spit dart. Craft. What else can I make? Ammo. I can now make the heavy darts. I had to buy those previously. I can make a rocket. I have no idea what a rocket is used for, but god damn it, I want it. Flammable gel. Napalm. Seriously, napalm, guys. There it is. You like the MakerBot graphics? Yeah, I think they did a good job with those. I now have an Artisan Jabal spit dart that isn't a half-ass broken piece of crap, but a brand spanking new, not broken piece of crap. We will take the old one and, I was going to say recycle it, but instead we will disable that and turn back on. We're at 150 out of 150 circuit power. This is the old spit dart. And we got mechanical parts and gun parts. See, I already have 2 generators. But because I'm going to be adding more various fabricators, because there's like 5 different flavors of them, I'm going to need a lot more power. So we'll see if I need a higher tier of generator. I assume there is one. In the steel products, is there a generator? We have a wind turbine. That produces energy. The vehicles fab, the survival fab, garment fab, pentashield. I think that is that allows you to basically drive in and out of stuff through the pentashield if you have permission. That's what I needed. I need the staking unit, and I think I need that has to be made in the survival fab. That's why I got the survival fab, so I can make that, which will enlarge the area that I can make my house. So, I want to thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with me tonight. Got a couple things to put away. That's the gun parts. And that's the mechanical parts. Thanks, Senegal. I should be back tomorrow at my usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. I've practiced that. With more of this game. Not sure what. I will have come up with something else I want to do. Glad to know that carbon can be found since it's next on your list. Yeah, it is along the southern side of like the shield wall and this area, right? This is the closest, basically due north of that's my home base. Due north of the anvil is where it'll start. And you want to be careful of all of the dangerous sand zones. But once you're sort of along this line here, lots of carbon. I don't know. The next thing is erythrium, which is used for making cobalt lubricant or something. Something with cobalt in the name. I have no idea where that is. Okay, but I should be back tomorrow doing more of this. I don't know exactly what my agenda will be, but I'll be doing it. On Tuesday, we get the full launch of the game. I'm not sure. I may start a brand new character on one of the fresh start servers. I love alts. Anyone who's seen my literally 38 alts on my main Guild Wars 2 account knows that I love alts. So I may just do that on the 5th, start up a new character and run a stream starting early-ish and follow that character for a bit. So that might be on Tuesday, but tomorrow, no idea. This character most likely doing more of my stupid crap. Anyway, again, thanks for hanging out, guys. Hopefully you'll see me soon. I hope the rest of your Sunday goes great. And as always, I like to set an achievable goal for those people who hang out here. I hope your upcoming week doesn't suck. Back tomorrow. Take care. Ciao for now. Bye, guys.